Russos brand family. We are family.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am the Gonzo Shark, and this is Assholes with Opinions. And we are bringing to you our 2018 Money in the Bank retrospective show, where we're going to break the show down real quick and basically give our insights as to what we thought about the show. And, of course, I am joined by my incredible co-host, my brother from another mother, the one and only Splatman. What's up, my brother? How you doing, you asshole?
What's up, Gonzo? What's up, world? Here to talk some Money in the Bank.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, I'll be honest with you. Money in the Bank, I felt like kind of surprised me in some ways. So, actually, I'm kind of a little bit excited. Well, I'm definitely excited to talk about this with you. But I'm actually kind of excited to actually talk about the card itself. So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of started off a little slow. It got better, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah. So, let's just kick this thing right off and get down to brass tacks. And first, let me just say what we alluded to on the last show that we did. The match that we predicted didn't happen, which I was kind of surprised about. Wyatt and Hardy and the B team, it didn't happen. I thought it was going to happen. It didn't fucking happen. It was weird.
It was wicked weird, especially how everybody's woken. And it's pay-per-view. Matt Hardy would have fucking rocked that shit.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. And also, like, why do you fucking have them win a number one contenders match like 2 or 3 weeks ago? And it's like, okay, so what? They don't have their fucking tag team title match now? Like, well, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, they're probably saving it for SummerSlam.
Yeah, some shit. Or the next pay-per-view. Or maybe even on Raw tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, so anyway, the first match that we're going to talk about, dude, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't even fucking see it because I missed the kickoff show.
You didn't miss much, Ian. You didn't miss much, Gonzo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, dude, I read that they got squashed, and that's kind of what I was expecting anyway. You know, I was expecting the Bludgeon Brothers to just probably demolish Gallows and Anderson, and that's what happened. And I heard it wasn't even that great of a match. It was pretty quick. And it's cool. I mean, they're keeping the Bludgeon Brothers looking strong and shit, and I like that. I think they're like a real dominant team. But where the fuck do you go with them from here? You know what I'm saying? And on top of it, on SmackDown Live, like, what other strong tag team is there to even put up against them?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the match in a whole, like, yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers just showed their power. Just overcame the match. They're just a big powerhouse. I don't know where they're gonna go with them, but you know, if I was to give the match a letter, I'd give it a D.
Yeah,
there was really nothing exciting about it, really. I mean, I kind of figured the Bludgeon Brothers would win. I mean, they're so dominant right now, and you know, they're brute force.
Yeah, and I think the D rating may have been a little generous, even. But with that being said, I think that, you know, they've definitely dropped the ball with the Authors of Pain guys, and I feel like seeing them against the Bludgeon Brothers would be really cool if they did it right.
And I think you hit it right in the head. I think that's the road they're gonna go.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Bludgeon Brothers were on Raw, but we haven't seen them in like a month. I mean, not the Bludgeon Brothers, the Authors of Pain. They were on Raw, and we haven't seen them in like a month. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing with them. I mean, I feel like it opens up the door. We haven't seen them on TV in a month. We'll have them just show up on fucking SmackDown. You know what I mean? And get right up in the Bludgeon Brothers' face. Like, yeah, and they could say, like, they didn't put us on fucking TV for a month on Raw because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing with us. They don't know what the fuck to do with us because we're such a dominant tag team. And we see what the fuck you guys are doing. So now we're just going to do what we want. We're going to come over here and we're going to take your fucking belts from you. Like, if they did something like that, that would be cool.
Yeah, like, you know, the Bludgeon Brothers come out on Raw, get the microphone. They say, you know, we're a brute force. No one can beat us. And then next, you know, they come out. Entrance comes out, the theme music, and bam, match is made.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. You could take the Authors of Pain and have them show up at SmackDown, or you could even take the Bludgeon Brothers and have them show up at Raw. Either way. But the thing is that to go the route of having the Bludgeon Brothers show up on Raw, I feel like they've just completely dropped the ball with the Authors of Pain on Raw, and they haven't even, like, established themselves on that show. Whereas with the Bludgeon Brothers, they're, like, dominating SmackDown Live. So have fucking Authors of Pain go over there and get up in their face. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably most likely what would happen. It'd be great if the Bludgeon Brothers went to Raw, but
all right. So let's just be realistic, though. We know that those things are probably never going to happen. Unfortunately. Wah, wah, wah.
If only they can just bring it back to one team of wrestlers. Like I'm not a big fan of the whole split SmackDown Raw thing. I grew up with it. Everybody was on SmackDown. Everybody was on Raw. It kind of just. I don't know. I think that's weird, and I think a lot of it is just kind of giving more spotlight to more wrestlers, having more titles out there. That's how I take it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, like, there's no fucking stories. You know what I mean? Like, there's barely any storylines, so it's like really you're left with very little when there's no storylines. You're left with very little to like grasp onto. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you cut your roster in half like that, when you already don't really have many storylines, you're only like limiting yourself even more. Like, why the fuck would you do that? And it's all the same company. So why would you want one part of it to do bad and one part of it to do good? It's all WWE.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody probably, besides maybe a handful of wrestlers on SmackDown, but anybody who watches will probably tell you Raw is better than SmackDown.
Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. There's no doubt about that.
So, and plus you'll have more storylines if you have more wrestlers, if they're all together,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then you don't see the same fucking matches every single week when you have more people like that.
Agreed.
And also, like, let's be real, Raw probably shouldn't be 3 hours. I mean, that's obvious. I feel like it's just too long.
See, I like Raw being 3 hours. I feel like the first hour should be like a pre-show, kind of like a build up, little matches, stuff like that. And the last 2 hours, that's when your big guys come out. I like the 3 hours long because sometimes I watch SmackDown, I feel like it's too short, especially when you go see SmackDown and stuff. It just doesn't feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, and I can agree with you on that too, because like you saying that, I'm just thinking back to like when we were kids and Raw was 2 hours. The first hour was called like Raw or whatever, and the second hour was called like the War Zone, and it was like two separate shows.
Raw's War.
Yeah, it was like Raw's War, and then one half was Raw, one half was War Zone. But they always put like the more like thrilling stuff on the second hour, and the first hour was kind of like a build-up type of thing, like what you're saying. So if they went back to a format like that, but then again, you need stories, which you don't really have, so it's tough to fucking do that. But
and plus, like you said, like we don't get the same matches. We'll have different matches every week because there'll be a bigger roster.
Absolutely. And speaking of no stories, let's move on to the second match of Big Cass and Daniel Bryan.
I think it ended the way we thought it would end. We both picked Daniel Bryan. He won by submission. I don't think he was going to win by pinfall. So I think that was the best way for him to win against a big guy like Big Cass. The match itself was kind of shitty. I'm not going to give it much props because I wasn't a big fan of it.
No, neither was I. And my whole thing is this, bro. Last month, the last pay-per-view, whatever it was, I don't know if it was Backlash or whatever, it was Big Cass and Daniel Bryan had a match then too. And I feel like we basically saw the same exact match this pay-per-view. And my thing is like, what happened from that match to this match? Like, there's nothing in between that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did they do from that last match to this match to get us to be like, oh, we got to see this match?
Yeah, they didn't do much. I feel like Bryan is not there yet, and he's coming off an injury. He's not. I don't think he's totally there yet, like he used to be. And I just think Big Cass is trying his new thing, and it just, I don't know, it's just not molding right to me. I think Daniel needs more time, and I think Big Cass needs to, get his shit together.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing there with that for me between those two. Like, they just got to get over it, move on, get past it, and like actually do. I mean, Daniel Bryan, you always have that. He's a huge underdog. You can make that huge underdog story. That's like your ace in the back pocket with Daniel Bryan. You know what I'm saying? But like with Big Cass, I mean, they have the ability to build him into a monster just because of his fucking size. And I think that he's good on the mic. In my opinion, I like him on the mic. They don't always give him the best verbiage or the best content to fucking say. but I think that he has charisma and he can like carry himself with a microphone.
No.
So it's if you let him be more of himself, which they should be doing, he could be so much better.
Yeah, no, I agree. For some reason I think he could be better on a mic, just on the fact of I think someone's holding him back. I think he would have molded better in the Attitude Era, because I feel like he wants to be a punk ass and he wants to say certain things, but I feel like they hold him back from saying it. There was a story there, like I think it was like maybe a month ago, when Big Cass beat up
the midget.
Yeah, the midget.
Yeah.
And I guess he was supposed to only slam the midget like one time.
Yep.
But I guess he went over Vince's words and he slammed him a few times more than what he's supposed to do. I heard that he got in trouble backstage.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I think from there, I think they're trying to hold Big Cass back a little bit from, taking it into his own hands and like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, you're 100% right, because I mean, if you just look at the track record of WWE, when you like challenge Vince or you challenge them, they have no problem like fucking punishing you. And like the perfect example is like Titus O'Neil. Like that, I don't know if it was a year or two ago, like he touched Vince a certain way, like when everybody was on the ramp, they did like this whole thing on the ramp or whatever, and Vince was out there and he like touched him or whatever. He got suspended for like a month or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And like that's just like one example, but like really in a nutshell, like what I'm really trying to get to is like they will just make you job the fuck out for mad long, where you're just losing every match because you fucking did something wrong, or you went against Vince's word, or you did something you didn't like. But I mean, at the same time, Big Cass shouldn't have done that. Like I was listening to the Sean Waltman, the X-Pac, his podcast. And he basically said, I don't know if it was an interview or whatever, but he basically said, like, it's one thing to, like, not agree with what they're telling you to do, and then you just go out there and do it. You know what I mean? He's like, basically the saying goes, it's better to, like, take the punishment than to ask for permission. Or it's something like that. That's basically the way the statement goes. Like, you're better off just doing it, taking whatever the punishment is, than fucking asking and then still doing it anyway. Or asking and getting a no. And that, like, that's where he fucked up. Like, he should have just went out there and did it and then went back there and took whatever they were going to do to him for fucking not going with the actual plan that was put in place. But instead, he fucking asks, like, the agent, I want to do this instead, or I don't agree. And then the agent says, like, no, we're not doing that. And he says, all right, well, I'm going to go over your fucking head and go to Vince. And then Vince tells you can't do it. And then you do it anyway. I mean, that's stupid. Like, he should have just never done that. And that's probably why he's jobbing out to Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Vince has definitely got Big Cass in the corner right now, like a little bitch.
Yes.
But you can't override Vince. I mean, I know you want to go with the flow and you want to make it a good, exciting match, and you want to, give the extra effort for the fans, but you can't go above Vince's word.
No. And I just hope that they actually do something with both of these guys, But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Do we even want to talk about the next match?
Yeah, let me just say this one thing. Bobby Lashley won. Sami Zayn is cool on the mic. They both kind of suck. Let's get over it. Next.
Yeah, I there's some things I could say, but I'm not going to go there for the sake of time. It's just not even worth it.
I kind of feel bad for Bobby Lashley. I mean, I feel like he's got potential.
Bro.
And he's a big dude. It's just Sami Zayn in that match is just kind of just a filler.
Well, bro. I mean, first of all, they just don't mesh. You put them in the ring on the side of each other, and it's like there's no way I'm ever fucking buying for a second that fucking redheaded guy, that skinny redheaded guy, is gonna beat up this jacked up dude. Like fucking Bobby Lashley is ripped to the fucking gills, bro. And fucking Sami Zayn's like a fucking like little puny fucking Gumby stick figure. You know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to the guy. Like, I don't hate him or anything, but like. You couldn't put Andre the Giant against fucking Rey Mysterio, even though they did Big Show and Rey Mysterio, but it's just like it has to be the perfect circumstances to ever make that fucking work. And to me, you look at it, it's unrealistic, man. Like Bobby Lashley would kill him fucking 1,000 times out of 1,000 times.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And again, there's no story there. And the thing that pisses me off about it is, dude, and you probably don't watch Impact. Like the Thursday show, the TNA one. Bobby Lashley was there, dude, and they had him. He was doing good, bro. Like better than he's ever done in his career. He was at a career high in there. Like they had him kind of like they were almost doing like almost the Brock Lesnar type deal, like where the guy just doesn't lose and he fucking kills everybody. And that's what they were doing with Lashley. And it's like WWE, I thought when Lashley came over, they were going to immediately build him up to go against Brock Lesnar. And there's no, like, dude, come on. Sami Zayn, that's what he's doing right now. How is he ever going to fight Brock Lesnar?
I just think it, like I said, I think it's just a filler. I think that Bobby Lashley will start reaching the top, but there's other guys before him right now. But I can definitely see him going against Brock Lesnar. I can definitely see him going against Braun. You know,
well, we'll see. We'll see what they do tonight with the guy. He just squashed fucking Sami Zayn. Let's see what they do tonight.
Let's see it.
All right, so let's move on. The next match, dude. This is the first match on the pay-per-view that I thought was really good. Seth Rollins versus Elias for the Intercontinental title. What the fuck did you think about this match?
Well, this is where the pay-per-view started getting good.
Yep.
You know, the beginning was kind of slow, but Seth Rollins and Elias kind of blew me away. I thought it was great. I thought the match was great. I love how, I mean, that suplex off the top of the ropes to Elias, and then that
Falcon arrow, dude. Yeah, it's good.
You know, that was awesome. They both mold together very well. Seth Rollins is awesome. Elias is, we all want to walk with him. The match was just good. I mean, it was really good. I thought it was kind of weird that it was so early, kind of, you know, following Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. But, dude, I just thought the match was great in a whole. I think Elias can roll with Rollins any day. I think they should keep it going. I think Elias should win the next match if they fight again. I'm starting to fall for Elias, man. The guy's awesome, and I love it. I love his style in the ring, and it's awesome, man. He's like the new honky tonk man.
Well, that's funny. Like, my thing, dude, is like, yeah, okay, I wasn't really feeling him totally at first, but like the guy has just like progressed with his skills on the mic and his like promo skills and his like crowd control type of skills. Like, he's just progressed so fast with that. Like, I never saw that coming. And so like all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, this guy has like real charisma. And I like him. I mean, I've liked him for at least like 2 months. I've been saying to myself, okay, this is a guy that I can like actually like be kind of excited for what he's going to do on the show. Like, even though it's not always great, and a lot of times it's like the same fucking thing, but a lot of times he really like makes it good just because of how much charisma he has. You know what I'm saying? But like, my thing with him is that I feel like everything he does in the ring, it looks real. Like, he knows how to fucking, he's not out there doing like flip-flop bullshit and like stunts. You know what I mean? He's out there and it feels like real. There was one part in that match last night where they just like were standing up and they're just throwing rights at each other. Bang, 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 just trading rights. And that's like back in the day, that's what they used to do. Austin and The Rock, boom, 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 rights. You know what I mean? Left, right. And you know, they were doing that. The match, the thing about it was like, I felt like the match had a lot of psychology. You know what I'm saying? That's what made it good. Like, they were both selling well. Like, they were putting over the other guys and move well. You know what I mean? And like what you said with the Falcon at superplex, the Falcon arrow, like, they just like that moment in the match and the way that they both, like the way Seth Rollins did it and the way fucking Elias took it, it just made it feel more real than, you know, 99% of the shit on the show or on most of the shows.
Dude, they fucking sold that, dude, and it looked like Elias was in pain, bro. That's why I love him. Like, he's taking these falls, and it's like his facial expressions. Even last week on Raw when Seth Rollins destroyed John Mayer's guitar.
Yeah,
Elias,
great hip hop artist, greatest hip hop artist.
Yeah, best hip hop artist, thanks to Coach. I just looking on Elias's face, I kind of felt bad for the guy. Like, he has that good, like, the good facial expressions. He's a great actor. I feel like he can be in a movie or something.
Hell yeah. I mean, he's dude, I think WrestleMania weekend, he actually performed live at some club out in New Orleans. Like, and I saw footage on like Twitter or fucking Facebook or something like that, or online somewhere. But yeah, he played like an actual show at like this pretty big bar. You know what I mean? So it's like he actually has he seems like he's a very talented musician.
Yeah, I wasn't sure at first if the whole music thing was just a gimmick, for wrestling, or if he actually played music. And now that you said that, it's kind of cool to know because he could be a passionate musician,
Yeah, I mean, I just wish that they would do more stuff with him, like outside the arena. Like, why is he not like out playing songs like in the streets and like, like walking into bars and like overthrowing a little fucking show that somebody else is doing there? Like, why isn't he going into a bar and some fucking honky tonk motherfucker's playing his fucking twangy shit out there? And he's like, hey, get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. He smashes him and he fucking plays his show. Like, why don't they do something like that? You know what I mean? That would be a good segment.
Hell yeah, like when Stone Cold's at the bar and, every time he comes to Boston and
or the Acolytes bar fights, man, those were the best back in the day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, those were awesome.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see Elias doing something like that,
I'm just saying, like not to cut you off, but the creative envelope and like the fountain that, like the creative fountain that like he possesses, like with his skills, like how far you could go with him is like huge. And they're just keeping it in the ring every week with him playing his little song and shit.
Yeah, and it's not even like away from the arena either. It's like we could be seeing him backstage doing some things, pulling some shit out. We never see him backstage. Like you said, we see him on the ring playing his music. You know?
And that's where it gets stale because it's the same thing every time.
Yeah, I mean, that's what makes him great because, he does the same thing every time, but it's a different song every time, and every time I can dig it.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely taking what they're giving him and making the absolute most out of it that he possibly can, which is good.
And that's where you see most potential because if you can do that, dude, he's just going to climb that ladder and get better and better and better.
Oh, yeah, because they're going to buy into him more and more and more. Like, you hear the fans. You know what I mean? You hear them every week.
And I don't want him to turn face or anything. I want him to be an asshole like he is now. Keep rolling with it, and, he's going to be the future superstar. Watch.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, I'm actually, wondering what's going to happen tonight, with him and with Seth Rollins. Are they going to continue the beef? What's going to happen? Are they going to do something that's actually like creative? Like I'm hoping that they will. What
they're going to do is they're going to put them as a tag team tonight, and they're going to go up against I don't know who, but that's what they're going to do. They're going to like stick them in a tag team tonight just so they can feud a little bit on the side and.
Well, and see, and that could, I mean, that can work if you do it the right way. So we'll see what happens. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next match. The next match I was actually very impressed with, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. These fucking chicks, they laid it all out on the line, bro. I like the one thing that I thought to myself earlier today was like, I mean, the only match, like, because they've done like the women's Hell in a Cell now, they've done the women's Elimination Chamber, they did the women's, Money in the Bank last year and this year. So like this match and probably was the best one, I think, of all the matches that they've done so far, like with the chicks. Like I really felt like this match, like, I mean, girls that you didn't expect to like, or at least I didn't expect to really kind of step up and have a good performance in the match. They did, like I felt like everybody was good. Like I was impressed with Lana. I thought Lana did very good for somebody that doesn't wrestle much. You know what I mean? Naomi was like showing off like some crazy acrobatic skills, like just jumping from the ropes to the ladder. You know what I mean? She did a split on a ladder, so I mean, all the girls, man, I felt like they laid it out on the fucking line, and it was actually a good match.
No, you're right. It was kind of like a roll with the boys, They were taking harder falls than the guys were, These girls are laying it out. And that's one thing. That's one thing I like about Sasha Banks because she sells those moves.
Oh yeah, she does.
She sells those moves, and it looks like it hurts. Like what happened?
I know what you're talking. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know what you're talking about. And there was something that happened in this match. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, oh my God, that looked like it hurt so fucking bad.
Yeah, she got like suplexed on a ladder or something.
Yeah.
What the hell was it? I don't know, but they're laying it out. Yeah, and I love it, because I never thought women's wrestling was going to get as big as it is. I never thought we would find these women wrestlers that, are throwing their bodies out there just honestly, because growing up, when we had Trish Stratus and stuff like that, but they didn't take it as big as they do now,
No,
and I think these girls are just launching it, and like great match. I think the right person won. I think the whole you were close too, by the way. You were really close.
I know. I just picked the wrong girl, bro. I just picked the wrong girl.
And I think they even said it like, well, we'll get into that later once we get into that match. But all in all, the women's ladder match was great. Like, keep it up, girls, because that blew me away.
I agree. I think that the girls are stepping it up. I like it, dude. I'm all for the women fucking prospering and being empowered and doing what they love to do, just like the guys do it. And so I'm all about it, man. I love it. I think it's good.
And man, Alexa Bliss, man, she's oh man, she's good,
dude.
And she's like, I kind of looked past her on this match, you know. I kind of looked because she's, you know, she just had the belt. It seemed like
that's why I looked past her.
And then Natalya just beat her in the sharpshooter last week on Raw, you know. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna pick Alexa Bliss. You know, I kind of just skipped right over her. I didn't give her the credit she deserved, but she kicked ass. They all kicked ass.
Yeah, they all did, and you know, we'll get into more detail later. You know, when we go further down the card, but that was a great match, and I'm thoroughly impressed. Oh shit, my laptop's gonna die. I better plug that shit in. Ooh, good thing I noticed that.
Am I too loud? Do I get too loud?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal, which I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Didn't even watch it, bro. I fast forwarded through it.
Well, again, you didn't miss much, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you didn't miss much. The crowd even like made it even worse.
I bet.
The crowd hated it. You know, and I don't even know how do they go on when they're hearing the crowd like that? You know, I kind of feel bad for these guys, but I guess they do it to themselves. But the match sucked. Do you know the winner? You know who won?
Oh yeah, I know. But like, I mean, dude, my thing, bro, is like, let me ask you a legitimate question right now. Why did they even have the match? Like, what is the beef between Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal?
I don't know what happened.
That's you don't even have to say anything else though, bro. That's my point right there. My point right there. It's like whatever.
I feel like that they didn't know really where to go with Roman. You know, I feel like they were stuck. They thought like they're gonna give him a big push, and the crowd's not feeling it. So I think that they just said, you know, fuck it, Jinder and Roman.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna write that down for our next show right now as a topic, because Roman Reigns, like I like him. You know what I mean? I've been a fan for a long time, and I have a lot that I could say about, like, you know, just what's happened in the chronology of like his career so far, you know, since the Shield broke up and where he is now. Like, there's a lot I could say about that, and I'm gonna write that down, like, because we have to cover that, you know, on either the next show or a different show, because there's a lot of underlying circumstances, a lot of, like, you know, ins and outs with that. I feel like, you know, that I'm not going to get into right now, but, you know, I'm sure like we're going to cover that, bro. We're going to cover that.
Yeah, we'll do another video just on that, because there's so much stuff we can talk about. I mean, we talked a little bit about it last video.
Yeah.
Between the finisher and stuff, but we won't get into that again.
No.
The match was a D-.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna go F, because when I think of Fs, I think of matches like Jeff Hardy versus Sting.
Yes.
You know, that's an F match.
Yeah. Speaking of that, real quick though, did you happen to catch the Hardy's Woken thing after the pay-per-view?
I did. I watched half of it.
I watched all of it, and I thought it was really good, bro.
I got real tired. I ended up falling asleep on my couch.
That's me every night.
Dude, it was so interesting. I wish I finished it. I'm gonna finish it. So.
Yeah, finish it, bro, because it's really good. And they actually, I don't know if you got to that part, but they cover that in the thing.
What was it again?
Like the Sting and Hardy thing. That's in there. Did you see that? Yeah,
that's kind of remind me of. That's why, like, when I said D and I was thinking of shitty matches, that's the first thing that reminded me of.
There's the finger poke of doom too. That's another one.
It was nice to hear both sides between Jeff Hardy and Sting, because, you know, like Jeff Hardy was saying how Sting is someone he grew up watching. He would look forward to this match, you know.
Yep.
Sting the same. He was looking forward to it, and then how disappointing Sting looked when he's seen Jeff, you know. But that's something else we can get into too.
Yeah.
Let's stay on topic.
Let's stay on topic. Okay, Carmella and Asuka. Man, I like this. Man, I gotta say I like this because I don't know why, but I've been saying and I feel it, and I can't even explain why for sure, but I just feel like Carmella needs to hang on to the belt for a while. I feel like she's matured a lot, she's gotten a lot better, and she's just like really good with the mic. And of course, they have to do more with her. They have to build her up more. They have to have more creative stories with her, which obviously they don't. But you know, this like kind of swerved me a little bit because when the person got up on the apron, excuse me, when the person got up on the,
are we not supposed to say spoilers or something?
No. I'm just saying, like, you know, yeah, obviously it was Ellsworth, but when he got up on the apron, the reason why I'm saying person is because the first thing that I was saying to myself was I wasn't sure if it was a really big chick or if it was a guy.
Well, I kind of had a feeling it was Ellsworth just because of Carmella and his past.
Yeah.
And it did help because the whole crowd was chanting Ellsworth before he even took off his mask. So the whole match in general, I thought was great. Like I told you before, I wasn't the biggest Carmella fan either. And she's kind of winning me over. I kind of figured, like, because a lot of her matches she has won with interferences and, you know, I think that's her thing. Yep. So I kind of was expecting Ellsworth to come because that's her guy. That's who usually fucking came to her rescue, you know? That weird looking dude.
Yeah, fucking No Chin McGee.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool. I like how like the camera focused on his face. He kind of did his tilt.
Yeah.
Oscar's looking at him like
and she did a tilt
he's tilting. And I'm like, dude, there's something weird and crazy about this that I love, you know? Yeah. So, but the match was good. And, you know, you're right. Carmella needs to hold on to that belt because she's a boss right now. Oscar, take a little more time. You just got here. You'll win. You'll get another shot.
Well, yeah, and you know, obviously, like maybe the little bit of a challenge with Asuka is that she doesn't speak English, so it might be a little bit harder to have a good storyline with her because she doesn't speak English that well. But like, you know, I think they played it off the right way, and like for me, I didn't see it coming really because I didn't think that deep down inside, I didn't think fucking Carmella was going to win. I thought Asuka was definitely beating her, like 100%. I didn't even think there was really a chance that Carmella was going to win. And then
we both had Asuka, right?
Yeah, we definitely both had Asuka. So I mean, you know, props to them. You know, let's see where they go from here. But I thought that was good. You know, I would grade that. You know, definitely in the B range for sure.
Yeah, I'd go B.
Yeah. So that
maybe
was
B minus.
Yeah. You know? Let's not get nitpicky, you fucking asshole.
Well, hey, I'm a fucking asshole, and that's me, dude. I'm gonna get nitpicky. So.
All right.
You know,
whatever. I live with that. I'll deal with that. The next match, I would say, is the match that stole the show, and I'm sure you would agree with that.
I 100% agree with you, Gonzo. Like that match, and me and you were totally wrong. We thought they were the two people that shouldn't be fighting. We thought it was a crappy choice for Ronda Rousey's first single match.
No, that's not the match I have, bro. But we'll go into that one anyway. That was
why. Which one do you have next?
I had fucking Nakamura and AJ.
We
ran it down. We ran it down before we started, bro. What happened?
All right. No, you're right. So let's go with AJ Styles and Nakamura.
Okay. So obviously you don't think that match stole the show then, because you just told me you thought Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax stole the show.
Well, no. Listen. All right. Listen. I thought that the match against AJ Styles and Nakamura was incredible. Like, I love how they spent most of the time out of the ring. You know, it was those guys, the moves that they do to each other, and Nakamura, that crazy head shake and stuff like that is just, I love it. Like, he's a weirdo and he's like a nutbag and his facial expressions, and even when he's showing pain, he's got that funny like look of showing pain.
Yeah.
But let me just say, the reason why I thought Ronda and Nia Jax stole the show is because I didn't expect that. I kind of expected Nakamura and AJ Styles to, you know, lay it all out there. But I did not expect what we got from Ronda. I didn't even expect what we got from Jax. the way she looked at Ronda, the way she was staring her down, she looked like a complete beast. Like she wasn't even let Ronda even, you know, be in the ring last 1 minute, you know.
Yeah.
But oh man, they Ronda Rousey. Let's not get into that match.
All right,
What'd you think about Nakamura and AJ Styles? That's the only reason why I say Ronda stole the show, is because it was so like it came out of nowhere and I didn't expect it.
And I, you know, I can't totally disagree with you. I just like, for me, I don't know, like the last man standing thing or whatever. Like I thought that there was a huge potential for this match to be like a good match, like wrestling wise, but like not that much psychology in it. And I thought that they really like had some great psychology, especially, dude, at the end of the match when Nakamura was like half fucking knocked out, dude, and he leans up against the fucking announce table and he does this come on shit, and fucking AJ Styles kicks him in the balls like he's punting a fucking football, dude. I like when they did that, I was like, dude, you know, like I liked it. I liked the psychology of it. My only knock on the match, though, was like I feel like at some points they took it like a little too far as to like, you know, would this guy really be getting up now after this? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they could have like tamed it down a little bit with like the finishers and the super crazy shit and the guys getting back up. You know what I mean? Like but even then, I mean, the match was just so good. Like the ring psychology, the psychology of that match was incredible. You know, Nakamura has the awesome like persona as a heel. I'm buying into it. I like it a lot. He's so much better that way than the way that they first had him. And, you know, AJ's just fucking, his nickname's phenomenal for a reason. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and dude, like just the beginning of the match, like Nakamura kind of like he took control of the match early.
Oh yeah, like, and I like that.
It seemed like Nakamura beat up AJ Styles more than AJ Styles beat up Nakamura in the whole fight.
I like that too, because like, dude, they really made like, because you know how like, you know, back in the day, the real strong heels, like, you know, but maybe guys that weren't that big, like a Mr. Perfect or like a $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, or even Macho Man when he was a heel, like they didn't have to be like the big guy or whatever, because they were so like sharp up here and they were so like devious up here that they knew how to fucking, you know, manipulate you in a match or whatever to get the upper hand on you, like kind of no matter who you were, because they're just like that good of a heel. And I got that vibe with Nakamura last night, like the way that they presented that, the way that he like controlled the beginning of the match and the shit that he was doing to AJ. And he was just like, it was almost like he was toying with him for a little while. And I like that because, you know, Nakamura he's not the biggest guy, but you gotta present him like he's fucking sharp as a fucking nail up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, and the moves they did on each other were awesome. You know, the phenomenal forearm onto the table was awesome. The kick to the balls was awesome. I loved when Nakamura tried to punch AJ in the balls, and AJ knew it was coming because it happened 100 times. He kind of moved out of the way.
Yep, that was good.
The whole thing was good. And for a minute there, I did think you were right, because they came close of counting them both out when they were both on the ground. And I was like, man, Gonzo's going to be on top of his shit right now. And there was a couple times where I thought AJ Styles was going to lose, because at the 9 count, he was still on the ground, you know?
Yeah, I felt that way too. I thought like, oh shit, he might lose like probably like 2 times. And then at the end of the match, like before the phenomenal forearm through a table, and even after he did that, I was thinking to myself like, oh, you know, maybe they're going to do the fucking double count out thing like I said they might do or whatever. When I thought of that, like I thought like that's probably the way they're going to go with it. But like the thing is, dude, it was they just had such a great match and they laid it out so well that they didn't even need to do that. They made Nakamura look so good in that match. They made AJ look so good that it doesn't really matter that AJ won. Like it matters, but it doesn't matter for Nakamura. It didn't make him look bad. You know what I mean? But again, it's like, where do they go from here now? You know what I'm saying? Like, because we can't have that many more. Like one more match between them, I'm okay with it. But anything after that, it's going to be too much. We've already seen it like 4 times.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I kind of feel like Nakamura should make the move to Raw. I feel like he'd be better on Raw. I feel like contenders would be better on Raw. Like I could see him going against Seth Rollins. I can see him going against Elias. You know, I think after maybe another match like you said with Styles, even But you never know. Nakamura might win. He ain't leaving then. I don't feel like Styles can leave SmackDown. He's like the face of SmackDown. But I think Nakamura, like you said, madman, mentally unstable. Just I love the style. I love like I said about Asuka last show, like the mysterious style of Nakamura. It's like he barely says anything and he makes these weird movements and I love how, like you said, he's leaning against the table and he's saying, "Come on," like he's like, "Bring it on." I don't think he expected to get a kick in the dick, but he did.
He made that kick look good too. You know what I'm saying?
He did, and I thought they were both going to get counted out when AJ Styles. I don't know. I forgot what that move is. The move
off the steps?
Yeah,
the Styles Clash.
Yeah, the Styles Clash. He planted Nakamura. He would.
Yeah, and that goes back to what you were saying about his facial expressions. If like when they zoomed in on Nakamura when he was down after that, dude, the expressions that he was making on his face were great.
Yeah, it was. It was a all around great match. I thought it was. You already know. I think the show stealer was Ronda and Jax, but Nakamura and AJ Styles is right behind it. Great match. I'll watch them two wrestle any day.
Yep. I mean, that, like I said, great match, and I hope that they do one more big blow off type of thing for this, and then end it, and that will be good. But just fucking do something cool up until then, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And I was a little nervous with the whole last man standing thing, to be honest with you, because I thought they were going to kind of drag it out, but they didn't. I feel like they ended it great. I feel like it was a great length. I think all in all, I give the match probably an A.
Yeah, I will too, for sure.
But let's hope the next match. I'm kind of hoping for a ladder match between them two if they fight again, or either a Hell in a Cell match. Them two in a Hell in a Cell match, man. You think of the crazy shit they can come up with.
Yeah. I mean that, or I would even say just like something like just like a no rules type of match, like because Extreme Rules is coming up, so they might it could be a ladder match then or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see a ladder match.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, great match. But let's move on to your pick of the litter, the show stealer.
I just thought I thought that the moves from the start, I thought the moves were going to be cheesy. I didn't think Ronda was going to sell them as good, but man, the powerbomb to Ronda Rousey,
great.
Her head slam on the ground. Like, after she got powerbombed and she slammed her head, she kind of was dazed and she fell out of the ring.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
I honestly think she was dazed.
She probably was, because
I think she might have got a concussion.
Maybe
because her head slapped and like she went to go grab the rope and she totally missed and fell right through. And then when Nia Jax came out and picked her up like a powerbomb, at first I thought she was going to give her another powerbomb on the outside of the ring, but then she picked her up and she came down and she slammed her against the barrier.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That was brutal too.
Brutal.
The whole match was awesome, and the way they ended it.
Yeah, it was good, and like
I got goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good because like for me, dude, I was so stuck on Natalya because I'm like, they're friends or whatever, so they're gonna set it up so she betrays fucking Ronda Rousey, which I still think they might do that down the road, but because I was so like fixated on that, and then Alexa Bliss won the ladder match, the whole thought of anybody cashing in that match kind of just like slipped out of my mind, just because I was like, well, I fucking called that wrong or whatever. But then like, dude, they got me, dude. When Alexa Bliss came in, I'm like, oh shit, dude, they're gonna fucking do it. And the thing that I loved about it, dude, was how Alexa Bliss like made sure that she took Ronda Rousey the fuck out before she went after Nia Jax. I like that. I thought that was good. But the only thing with me about it is like, I'm confused as to where they're trying to go with it. Are they trying to go with like Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey, or because now it's kind of weird to me.
They're probably gonna lead it to a triple threat match, because even though they do that way too many times, I think, but I think it kind of led up to that, and it was pulled out from left field because we all know the Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss feud. We knew that was going on. and we kind of forgot about it. You know, we kind of put it in the back burner because they haven't really been doing that much. And then Alexa Bliss comes out, and the way the camera was, where you did not even see her, like she just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was expecting Ronda to win right there. Like she had her arm up right there. She's been fighting her whole match to get it. I'm like, Ronda's got it right here. And then all of a sudden, doink. And like you said, it made Alexa Bliss look like such a heel and such a fucking asshole when she beat the crap out of Ronda. She got in the ring. She seen Ronda move a little bit. She got out of the ring,
dude.
You know, multiple times. And it was smart. She's like, should I cash in now? Nope. I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. Slam him a little bit more. All right, cash it in right now. I honestly think Nia Jax could have got out of her finisher. I think that's the only thing I have a problem with. I think Alexa Bliss should have won by slamming her head with the suitcase a few times, not going up and doing her little, what do they call it?
Twisted Bliss.
Twisted Bliss. Yeah, like I love that move because, you know, she pulls it off great, but I just think like for being like a force like Nia Jax is, I think a couple head hits with the suitcase would have did it.
Yeah, but
I didn't like how she was hitting her with hitting Nia Jax with the suitcase.
No, I didn't like that.
She was like swinging at it, like you know, like take it and hit it over her head with it, pin her, and I loved it, especially when Alexa Bliss was leaving and she was doing her whole this thing.
Yeah.
And she's looking at Nia, and Nia's looking at her, and oh man, that's gonna be sweet. And that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be like Jax is gonna call out Alexa Bliss. Ronda Rousey's gonna come out and be pissed at Alexa Bliss. I mean, Nia Jax might get a title shot with Alexa, seeing how she was the champion, and Ronda Rousey could interfere in that match.
Yeah, and I think even though they do the triple threat thing all the time, the way that they booked that so well last night, that coming off of that, they could capitalize on that and do some really cool shit where it's like you don't really care that it's a triple threat because that was just booked so well last night. But you know, like, who knows what's gonna happen?
How wrong were we, Gonzo? Like,
I'm on the fence, dude, because I called half of it that somebody was gonna cash in and fuck Ronda Rousey over, so that way neither fucking chick would lose, and like technically lose. You know what I mean? But you know, I was just wrong, man. I was hooked on Natalya and Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss, I overlooked her for this whole thing because she was the champion. Dude, she's been in WWE like on the main roster for probably less than 2 years. She's already like a 5-time champion, bro.
She's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Believe me, she's blowing me away, bro. I wish she was blowing me, but you never know, right? Got to have high hopes.
Yes, sir. But no, I mean, that was great. They booked it well, and I hope that they go, you know, in a good direction from here with it.
You know, I'm gonna give the match an A+, just because like I would just give it a solid A, you know, but just because of how much Ronda Rousey impressed me, where I didn't think she was gonna be that good and take falls that hard, you know, even her facial expressions and like just, you know, it blew me away. That's why I had to give it an A+, just because I wasn't expecting a match like that.
Yeah, and I can agree with you on that wholeheartedly, 100%, because yeah, Ronda Rousey fucking blew me away too. She, you know, she's for her experience, she's very good. Like she doesn't have much experience, and she looks awesome in the ring. But you know, she improves on those promo skills and shit like that. And you know, they give her some solid shit to work with. She could be like fucking so over the moon. It would be unbelievable. So I hope that's what happens.
I agree. You know, just fix up her mic skills. Let her get comfortable on the mic a little bit more, and I think she's just gonna make it to the top.
Bro, they just have to let her be herself. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember her in UFC, dude? She was talking shit and doing it well in UFC, but because they're handing her a script every week and saying you got to say this exact shit. You know, there's a difference between doing that, acting that out, and fucking acting like yourself. You know, so I wish that they would just let her be herself because she has the skills, but she's not a fucking actress. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's how they need to go about her. You know, maybe they should give her the range of get out there, Ronda, and just do what you feel. You know, say what you feel.
Bro, based on the money alone, like the amount of fucking money that she can bring to them, they should let her do that. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're not, because like Brock Lesnar doesn't talk, but I have, and fucking Vince Russo told me that he doesn't even think Paul Heyman has like creative control or any creative control over the shit that he says when he goes out there and cuts those promos with Brock. Like he thinks that is like basically written for him, which I can't disagree with him. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that they book everything else is that way. But Paul Heyman's so good with the mic, even if it is 100% scripted or whatever, he makes it feel fucking real. And so it's like Ronda Rousey doesn't have that skill because she's not a fucking Paul Heyman who's been in wrestling for 40 years or, 35 years or whatever it is. And so let her be herself. That's all you got to do.
Or maybe give her a manager to kind of guide her.
That too. That's the other thing too. And that kind of brings me, it's kind of comes full circle right now for me because I was thinking to myself, put her with Paul Heyman. But Paul Heyman has the fucking super badass fucking Brock Lesnar who dominated in UFC for a little while. He's a fucking killing machine. And then he has the baddest fucking chick on the planet. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense.
That could work, but everybody hates Paul Heyman. I don't think he's going to – I don't know if him and Ronda will – I don't know, man. That's a tough one for me.
Well, Ronda doesn't have to be a face or a heel, though. That's no matter what, dude, she's going to draw money. No matter what.
I feel like you should have somebody. I mean, I can't think of a name right now, but I feel like you should have somebody with a background of MMA maybe that came to wrestling like she did. Kind of like a Kurt Angle, kind of like, something like
Ken
that.
Shamrock?
Or Ken Shamrock. Imagine that.
Yeah, dude, that would be pretty cool.
That's a good call.
I could get into that all day. I like Ken Shamrock.
So, but you know what I'm saying when I say that?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And that makes sense, too. Like, it doesn't have to be Paul Heyman. You could definitely, if they pulled something like that out of their hat where they got a Ken Shamrock or they got somebody like that, that could work out well. So, We'll see what happens. All right, so let's move on to the main event. Men's Money in the Bank. And then we'll wrap this bad Larry up. Again, this match, I mean, honestly, it's tough to say. Like, I don't know if I liked the women's one more. I liked the overall output of the women's one more. Like, I felt like all of the girls individually did better than all of the guys did individually in the match, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like both matches were good, and I can't say one match was necessarily better than the other, but I feel like the overall output from the women, like each one individually, was better than the men because some of the guys in the match didn't really do much. Like Bobby Roode didn't do shit.
Yeah, I feel like Bobby Roode was just a filler, just to add someone else in there. Yeah. But see, one thing I don't like about yesterday's men's ladder match was the fact how, like, it seemed like it was always two guys in the ring at all times. It seemed like, two guys would be wrestling, and then one guy would knock the other guy on the mat, and he'd roll out of the ring. Then the next guy would come in. He would roll out of the ring. It's like, in a regular match, you get slammed to the mat. You don't roll out of the ring every time. No, I miss having like 4 ladders set up, and or like the ladder match between Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys. How they had 3 ladders set up, and they're all trying to get to the belts. Like, and the side 2 fall. Like, it was just the same to me every time. Every time they got in the ring, it was the same. One guy against one guy. I think the only time there was 3 guys in the ring was when, what's his name, jumped up on Braun's back, and it was him and Baylor up there fighting for the suitcase.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought Braun was going to lose that match from the start because of how they piled up ladders. I think that's just how they wrote it out so they can say, well, Braun was fucked up. That's why Baylor won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, like I said last show, Kevin Owens lays it all out there. That guy's awesome. He's a dick, and I love it. And he's just, like I said, he puts his body out there. I think he got hurt falling from the ladder, to be honest with you.
I do too. Like, the way he fucking fell, dude.
And that wasn't the only fall he took. It seemed like he took the most damage out of everybody in the ladder match.
Oh yeah, dude. Braun Strowman did something to him on the clotheslines on the fucking aisleway, dude, and he was getting fucking slammed, dude.
Dude, he slammed, and he probably hit his head so hard. And then speaking of that, Braun Strowman running through the ladder, bro. I never seen that before.
That dude, I popped like so huge when that happened. I was like, holy shit, dude, he ran through the fucking ladder. Like, I never saw that coming. That I thought was awesome. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? That's like perfect for Strowman. Like, You know,
they made him look like a monster, even though we all know he's a monster. But no one's ever seen anybody in the history of wrestling, not that I can remember, run through a ladder.
no, nobody.
You know, like
Nobody.
I think the right guy won.
Yeah, I mean that's who we both wanted. Like we said in the last show, we wanted him.
We wanted him. We didn't pick him.
No.
We picked Finn, but you know, Braun was our second choice. That's who we wanted to win because the guy's putting in work. He deserves a title shot.
Hell yeah, I do.
And if they do Braun versus Brock, that could be the match of the year. That has potential to be an incredible match.
100%. But here's my issue with that, bro. Okay, and this is where fucking WWE pisses me off, bro. Is that if we've already seen Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar lock up in the ring. When they had that dumbass triple threat match with him, Lesnar, and Kane, which they should have never fucking had that match. It was pointless. It was stupid. So it's like people have already seen Brock and Braun touch each other. If they would have never done that, that immediately jacks up the level of anticipation for this match, like so much fucking higher than what it will be. So you're right. You're totally right. It could be the fucking match of the year. It could be incredible, which I think it will be a great match. But they fucked up because had they never touched each other, it would have such more of like a feel to it, where like excitement and anticipation and like, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, you fucked up because, and the thing is too, people don't forget that either, because if you remember in that match, Strowman fucking hit Lesnar with a stiff knee, and you could tell, and Lesnar was like, oh shit, and then he punched him in the fucking head, and it was a real punch. You know, you could tell he jaw jacked him. You know what I'm saying?
No, it most definitely was real, because you can see when Braun kneed him, like he connected. Yeah. And as soon as Brock got connected, you've seen Brock's face, and he said something like, you don't do that. And he punched him right in his head. Yep. But I do remember that match. I mean, it kind of sucks that they throw an old man like Kane in against these two guys. It's going to throw it off. And one thing that points out to me in that match was, I think this is the why they did it, is after Brock beat them, Brock pinned Kane. After that, Braun Strowman yelled to Brock, "You didn't beat me. You didn't beat me. You didn't pin me." So I think there's a reason why they had Braun say that for the future Braun versus Brock.
Well, and that's cool, and I totally fucking can't disagree with you on that. But like, to me, it's like, okay, do they if they're gonna go in the direction like of Braun going after Lesnar, like right away with the Money in the Bank, or not right away, but targeting Lesnar in general, if that's what they're going to do, which obviously it seems like that's what they're going to do, then they have to like play it right off of that. They have to play it right off of Braun Strowman being like, I got this case now, and fucking Brock Lesnar didn't beat me. He did not fucking beat me. He pinned Kane. He did not beat me. He cannot beat me. You know what I'm saying? You play it like that, and you can get some steam behind it. You don't do it like that, it's going to be not as good as what it could be, or it's going to be the shits. It could be the shits, So
it could be the shits, but if we get them kneeing each other in the face and punching each other in the head, that shit could get brutal. Yeah. And honestly, even with Brock's MMA background, I think if Brock and Braun went into the octagon, I think Braun would have a good chance of beating Brock. Braun is a beast.
He is. I think it would depend on the cardio. If Braun Strowman had really good cardio,
well, you got to think Braun Strowman's past as the world's strongest man and stuff, doing all those. His cardio has to be up there, bro.
Yeah,
he's lugging those tires. He was pulling those Mack trucks and doing all that crazy stuff, man. That takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. So I mean,
People might look at me like I'm crazy when I say Braun would beat Brock in the octagon because of how much, experience Brock has in the octagon. But fuck, I think Braun is just an all-around monster, and I think Brock really felt that knee. That's why he fucking had to lay him out a couple times. Well, but Braun Strowman took those punches.
Yeah, he did. And my whole thing too is like, even if Braun Strowman doesn't have like a wrestling background like Brock does or whatever, I don't care. I'm looking at that guy, and I'm saying to myself, there's no way he can't throw a punch that would lay anybody out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say it.
And we know Brock doesn't like to get hit, dude.
Exactly. We've all seen him get dazed after a couple hits.
Yep. So hey, I'd pay to see that.
Because honestly, I don't think Brock has a chin. I think he has a glass chin, a glass jaw, and I think that that's why he comes out like he does with the full force spear and stuff like that, charging at his opponents. So I think, like you said, if Braun strikes Brock the right way, Brock is out cold.
Yeah,
but that's
MMA. That's MMA. But all right. So let's be real. We've gone fucking 30 minutes over what we wanted to. I kind of expected that to happen. Let's do the last part of the show right now. Then we're gonna end it, and then you guys can fucking say what you want to say. Please comment. We want you to comment, and we will be coming back at you with another fresh show within days. So that's coming. But last segment right now. Money in the Bank, overall as a pay-per-view, 0 out of 10 stars. What do you got, Splatty?
All right, well, I'm changing the number I have. I originally wrote down a 6.
Yep.
Just because I thought, like I said, I thought the beginning was kind of slow. I thought 3 or 4 matches were great. The 2 matches were great, and then 2 other matches were good, and then the rest kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna up it up though to a 7. Just because. I mean, maybe a 6.5. Just because, like I said, how much I didn't expect Ronda Rousey to go out like that, and to she blew me away. Even Nia Jax blew me away. Just on that match alone, I didn't think Ronda Rousey had any future in the WWE. I thought she was selling the moves wrong. Especially in the Kurt Angle match, tag team match against Stephanie and Vince. I thought she was very Stephanie and Triple H.
I was about to say Vince, really?
I thought she was very sloppy. I thought she was sloppy with her moves, and even taking moves. I thought she was sloppy, but I think she was on point. And I never even mentioned her little off the rope thing, her little cross body to Nia Jax.
Yeah.
I love the fact how she was playing with the crowd. Yeah, she was before she sat up on the mat. She stood up on the mat. She looked at the turnbuckle. Then she looked away, and then she looked at the turnbuckle. And then she looked away, and she's like, I'm getting on this shit. And that's the only reason why I upped it up to a 6.57.
All right, so you want to know what this is? I don't know if you can see that, but that's my girl, right? Texting me saying I'm getting very hungry. So that means we got to wrap this thing up.
Well, hungry too. That's funny, Gonzo, because my girl just peeked her head through the door like 20 minutes ago because she's done with dinner.
All right. So for me, I'm giving it 5.5 stars.
Say that again. You went out.
I'm giving it 5.5 stars.
5.5. All right.
Yep. 5.5. I feel like I considered 6 at first, but there was just way too much of a gap between the matches that were good as opposed to the matches that weren't so good. It was kind of like night and day. The matches were either good to great, which a couple of them were, or they were just the complete shits. So 5.5, and I feel like maybe even that's a little generous.
So in a whole, we'll give it him a 6 between the AWO show and Meet Halfway. We'll give the pay-per-view a 6.
Yeah, I can totally dig that.
Okay.
All right, so everybody, that is it for this edition of Assholes with Opinions, the 2018 Money in the Bank retrospective show. Like I said on last show, we want you guys to fucking jump on the bandwagon, watch the shows. We're here trying to put forth a good show that everybody's going to enjoy. This is what we love to do. This is our dream. We just love producing things and filming things and all kinds of stuff like that. Anything creative. So this is our fucking platform for that. And we want you guys to be a part of the ride. And, I feel like this was a great show for Money in the Bank. It was a good show to talk about, so I'm glad we got that opportunity. And like I said before, you can follow me on Twitter at GonzoShark1, Instagram the Gonzo Shark, and you can find me on Vince Russo's The Brand, obviously One Wrestling with Bill Apter, Wrestling with Andre Corbeil, and tell everybody where they can find you, Splatty.
Well, I'm not quite there yet anyways. And next show, I swear I'll have something to tell you fans to come find me. Because right now, I'm not going to tell you what I got.
All right, good. Keep them in fucking anticipation, because let me tell you right now, whatever it is, it's going to be good. So,
well, it's just the whole, like, I'm just trying to make everything perfect. I want the AWO show page to be good and perfect, and I'm shooting for the stars, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hey, one day at a time, consistency, the warrior work ethic, and we're good. So that's all there is to it.
Yeah, just remember the name Splatman. That's all you need to know. You'll find me.
Yep, that's it. And like I said, there will be more new, fresh shit coming from us every week. Maybe even twice a week, whatever. But it's going to be out there, and I'm going to be promoting the shit out of it. And on my end, I know you will too. So we'll build this thing. But yep, that's it for the show, guys. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We love you guys. And until next time, this is the Gonzo Shark checking out.
Peace out. Splatman out.